morning to my Western Zone friends and good evening to my Eastern Zone people. Today, the topic for my webinar is test automation with codeless solution. Yes, the term is codeless, which means that there is no need to write the code. And please don't be so surprised by hearing this word. We all know that testing is very important and essential part in like delivering anything to the client. So for this, some of the tools have been developed which like do not need so many codes to be written on them. And yes, hold on your breaths, we will see how this magic happens in the coming slides. I would like to tell you something about my company, like about Noldes. So Noldes is a team of passionate technologists with a product mindset who works along with business to deliver solutions at the speed of competitive advantages. Our main capabilities are around reactive product, IoT, microservices and API, data science, data engineering and DevOps. We also have our strategic partners with Databricks, Lighten, Confluent and many more to deliver more values to the client. Now moving ahead, so the agenda for today's topic is like we'll be covering. The first topic is understanding of codeless automation. Here we'll like try to focus on what is codeless automation and why it has been so important. So benefits will be dealing with what are the benefits, do codeless automation really have benefits compared to manual or coding automation. Now there are some myths, so we'll be discussing myths of codeless automation. Then we'll discuss what are the trending codeless automation tools available in the market, what we are dealing with at Noldes, and I'll show us like I'll give a glimpse of a small example kind of a codeless automation tool which is Katalon Studio, and I'll try to give a small demo for that. Now then we'll, this is the important thing, codeless versus coding. So we'll discuss what are the factors where the codeless automation becomes priority, and what are the factors for which coding automation becomes on priority, and then finally we'll conclude. So understanding of codeless automation. So most of us follow agile methodology, and here development and testing goes hand on hand. And here a single bug can cause like a massive financial loss, so we have to be double sure before delivering to the client. So for this, testing has become very essential part, and nowadays it has also become like complicated, because now the process has become so granular, and it has become so fast that everything is going on and on. And so because of that, the testing has always like become very complicated, and it is very important. So manual testing is also an option, but manual testing, we all know that it is taking time, and there are some benefits of manual testing as well as there are some disadvantages also. But for to run the agile cycle in a very fast way, we cannot rely really on manual testing, so we have to focus on coding automation. And now we are dealing with codeless automation, so yes, this is a chance for us. So like I've already told that manual testing is always an option, but we cannot think of doing so when we have issues related to like performance, JavaScript, repetitive testing, etc. So here like a codeless automation really comes into picture. Now the definition says that the codeless test automation is testing process for creating automated test without writing a single line of code. So here the testers are not writing a single line of code. Writing test scripts take ample of time and resource. Yes, because whenever we are writing test cases, we have to focus on locating the locators, then creating the architecture and everything. So codeless testing beats that by providing a user friendly interface to reduce coding as much as possible. So yes, coding is there, but it is reducing coding. So moving ahead, uh, what are the benefits of our codeless automation? Now here is a quote written. So this says that if debugging is the process of removing bug, then programming must be the process of putting them in. So yes, the first benefit I would like to discuss is that it saves time and resource. Obviously, now codeless automation tool have features to record and play, so testers can directly, what they can do is they do not have to like invest their time on creating the framework first and then start developing their test cases, finding the locators and then writing those XPaths and everything. So what here they are doing, they have the feature of record and play, so they'll be so what they can do, they can record their test quickly, configure in the codeless UI and begin testing the application. So this approach saves a lot of time in an agile framework and can help to maintain the pace of development also. The next one is easily manageable. Codeless automation tools give us inbuilt framework which simplifies the process of updating test script whenever requirement changes or whenever product enhancement are enabled. So yes, they are easily manageable. Easy creation of test cases, as I've already said that there are play button is there, the record button from where we can generate the test cases, hence we do not have to invest times in finding those locators. And then a decrease in testing bottlenecks, obviously. So codeless automation testing speeds up the process of creating test case. So here QA team can run through those test cases and deliver the result in a more like accurate rate. So they are decreasing the testing bottleneck. Now the next is fast method to create test report. So now it is creating those test cases in a very fast manner. So after creating those test cases, the test reports are also generated in a very systematic and a fast process, so we can directly deliver to our stakeholders. But here what happened is that we are getting very customized reporting in these tools. They are very in a customized way, the reportings are there, and it is that is making us very easy like to present that report to our stakeholders. So hence these are the benefits of codeless automation. And now moving ahead, there are some myths of codeless automation. Now till now we feel that it is very easy and everyone can do, but this is not true. A person who has no knowledge of testing and like a person who does not know how to create a test case cannot, like, is not able to think of writing a test case, cannot work on this codeless tool. So little bit of knowledge is very essential for codeless tool also. It's not like a layman can use that tool. So let's take a trip down the memory lane and look back at some of the myths that were born in the early days of codeless automation tool. The first one is that codeless does not mean no coding. Yes, it does not mean no coding, but yes, the fact, it is also a fact that code is generated whenever testers create a test case. Code is generated, but it does not mean that no coding. If the tester has to write some cases which the codeless automation tool is not able to do, they can write that test cases in any of the steps where it is required. So they can write those test cases, like coding is required there. Codeless tool does not support custom code. That doesn't mean that a tool is limited for to codeless testing. Yes, many codeless testing tools support code custom along with codeless script. Here we can write codes as well. And testers don't need coding skill. This is definitely not true, because uh, testers should have a little bit of knowledge to write code, and at least they should understand what the codeless automation, the test scripts have been generated. They should get, they can understand what the steps are saying. It does not mean that that a person who is not able to understand a single line of a code will be able to perform this codeless automation thing. Now, moving ahead, there are some disadvantages also of a codeless automation tool. First is maintainability. What happens, like if the test cases are not designed so they cannot be reused, we have to design those test cases in a manner so that they can be reused uh, like later on. If I'll give you an example, like if I am recording everything, I am doing login, and then I am, after login I am going to the page, then doing logout, then again I'm recording that, again I'm going to the login, and then I'm what I'm doing, I am creating a post and then again logout. So here we are seeing that login and logout both are being redundant. So if a tester is not able to understand that two test cases are being repeated, and they can be reused multiple number of times. So what happens, every time they are recording, so the number of test cases they are increasing, so the graph will be increasing. So for a smart worker can do one thing, that they can stop that the codes which are being reused at a place, and they can call those test cases. So these features are also available uh, in the coded automation tool, or what we say. Now, uh, the second one is debugging. There are certain tools like IDE tools where we cannot apply the breakpoints, so we cannot like get to know what the issue was, and where the issue was, and how we can fix that issue. The third point is not fully codeless. The scripts are generated automatically, but there might be some cases where manual coding might be important. Yes, definitely, sometimes it is important. And the very most important one is that these are paid tools. Mostly all of them are paid tools. So most of the codeless automation testing tools are obviously paid, and like most of them uses payment according to the number of users. So if an organization is having 4 testers, and the 4 testers are using those that tool, so they have to buy license for all the 4 users, so that they can use. So hence it is like it is not open source, and this becomes a disadvantage of codeless automation tool. Now here I'll show you some of the trending uh, codeless automation testing tools. Mostly now, here we have like Katalon Studio, Tosca, Cloud QA, Perfecto, Leapwork. Like mostly all of them have similar features, and they all are competing against each other. And companies generally pick up the tools according to their requirements and budget. Yes, the budget is very important part. So at Noldus we have explored and done POCs of these tools, and we have been working thoroughly, like almost all of the tools we are using at Noldus. So commonly what we are using, the codeless automation tool is Katalon Studio, and this becomes like, this is the trending, not topmost, and it is number one according to me also. So let's discuss a little bit about Katalon Studio, and then we can move further with the demo. So Katalon Studio was introduced, like was launched as 2015, and frequently we get the updated versions. This was developed by Katalon. This was built on the top of open source automation framework Selenium, and yes, the people who know how to use Selenium will definitely be able to grasp this Katalon Studio. So The sum of its like features to sell are is that like it is complex automation testing tool with respect to web and mobile. So we can use Katalon Studio for web applications, mobile applications, etc. And it is available for different operating system as well, Windows, Mac, Ubuntu, etc. It is a free tool. Yes, some of the features are free, but some of the features of Katalon Studio are paid also. So it also integrates with tools like Jira, Jenkins, Git, etc. So there is no need to have like download some plugin or something like that. We these features are already inbuilt in Katalon Studio, and we can easily download it from www.katalon.com. Now these are the key features of Katalon Studio. So below, like, these are the features which make Katalon Studio superhero with respect to if we talk about APM or Selenium. So here what happens, like I've already told that it is compatible with many of the operating systems, and also it can, like, we can use this automation tool to automate like desktop applications, API application, mobile and web, and it is easily integrated with CI/CD tools. So Jenkins and all, it is easily integrated. So we can say it is easy to generate, execute and analyze. Now how does it work? So whenever, now if we have downloaded Katalon Studio, so how it is working? So the first step is set up a project. So you have to set up a project and then generate test case through the record button. So once your test cases are recorded, run those test cases, and then we can view those reports. There are very customized GUIs available in this Katalon Studio, from where you can view multiple like beautified versions of the reports, and then maintain test cases. So the test cases are easily maintained uh, here in like in our Katalon Studio. So like what happens if there are any change in the application and the test cases are already written, so there is no need to record the whole test case. So what we have to do is we'll directly go to the place where the changes have been done, and then again we can record. So it can record from the middle of the steps. uh, Moving ahead, now uh, yes, so these are, now we'll be having a demo. I'll give a small flow of how Katalon Studio is working, and how we are creating test case, and how we are generating the reports also. So this will explore the GUI, then we'll record and replay, and then finally we'll generate a report. So Katalon Studio is having very impressive GUI, so we'll definitely have a glimpse of it. And yes, after creating a test case, I'll also show how like we can configure some of the floating values, and then and then finally we'll generate a report. So yes, so this is the demo time, and let's get started. So I'll open my Katalon Studio. This is my Katalon Studio. So this is my UI. Here you'll see you have file from where you can create a new project, a test case, test suite, etc. We have if I'll show you, we can directly like check in our code to the Git repository, and we have, this is a spy web, so that you can like spy on your web application. This is a record web, you can record your web application, directly record. This is spy mobile, and record your mobile application as well. These are this is a run button from where you can run your test cases. Now this is an inbuilt uh, artifacts which are already created. If you create a new project, so these things will be generated automatically. So hence this is a already so structured that you can just have to use this feature. The framework has already been created. You have to you have to uh, like align all your things together. So we can write our test cases, and test suite are also there, so that test suite contains multiple test cases, and you can run any of the test suite. So report generation is also there. Once the report is generated, we can share that report to our stakeholders also. So I have created one test case. Now here if you see, my test case has been created. The test case, the steps are, I've already told that a layman cannot perform this codeless automation thing. You should have knowledge of creating at least a test case and to write a manual test case. So here what we are doing, we are opening a browser, navigating to the URL. What URL we are navigating? We are navigating to google.com. Then we are sending keys. The what we are we are setting text, which is hello, then we are sending keys, which is enter button, and then we are closing the browser. So if I go to the run button, and if I run this test case, I'll be seeing that it is following the same process, opening the Google browser, then hello, it has pressed enter, and then exited the browser. So you can see the test case has been passed. If you want to explore, this is a logger view of report, one kind of a report generation also, you can say. So here you can see that each and every steps are is passed, and the total whatever report you have to share, the report is there. Whatever time it took to generate that test case, it has already ran one test case, passed one, and nothing has been failed there. Detailing of each and every step is also available, so you can check these values also. So if you want me, I like I've already said that once it is not like IDE, like once you have written those test cases, you cannot modify those cases. Yes, we can. Here the value was hello. So if I want to change my text to something else, like if I'll write hi, okay, so and then if I'll run my test case, so if you'll see, it has opened, it has written hi, and then exited. So in the middle of the test case, we can change any of the configurable values as well. So my test cases have passed, and this is the report which has been generated. Now I'll show you how to create a test case. So here, from here you go, and if you click on this one, this is your you can write, I'll give it a name, webinar demo. Now if I'll click on OK, my demo has been it is here. So from here you can create your you can write your test cases. So in this also you can write your test cases. So this okay, so if you want to write your test case, here is your record button. So if you click on record, it is showing the URL, what URL you want to put in. So if again I'll write www.google, because some this will be like fast. This is a record button. if I'll scroll here, there are other browsers in which browser you want to like choose and start your recording. If I'll click on my record button, this is recording. It opened my Google page. I'll write hello, how are you? I'll press enter. So my page is there. I'll exit and I'll save the script. It is asking where you want to keep your XPaths and the locators and the values. So yes, so we can see in webinar demo the test case has been prepared and it is doing the steps which I've already done. Google.com, hello, how are you? Enter and then exit. Now if you run this test case, uh, you will generate a report as well. Now moving back to the slide. So I think now you are little familiar of what I was talking about in the previous slides, like what is codeless automation and how it has like saved and saving our time, like our testers time. Now I'll try to tell little bit or discuss little bit about codeless and coding automation. So as we all know that continuous development and continuous testing are going hand on hand, and codeless test automation is considered to be best solution. But yes, we all know that there is a debate for codeless and coding automation. So here are some of the points which I like to discuss. The first point is that test case in the coded one, cases are generally we are writing those test cases manually, so they are not generated automatically. What we are finding the locators, we are creating the frameworks, and then we are writing those cases. But in the codeless, I've already shown in within 5 minutes the framework is being ready, the artifacts are there. You have to just create your test case. That is also through the record button. So they are generally created automatically. Here coding skills are needed. Yes, definitely coding skills are needed. Why? Whether you are writing on C sharp, whether you are writing on Java, Python, so you have to be familiar with those like coding skills. And here uh, we don't need that much coding skills, but yes, little coding skills we need so that we can understand what the steps are, and if we have to tweak something, so we should be able to do that. For that thing also little bit of coding skills are needed. It is time consuming coded one because we have to uh, create each and every step by ourselves. Nothing is been automatically done, so it is time consuming. And in codeless, yes, it is saving our time and effort. Now coded is like we can consider that we can cover 100% test cases, and coded in the codeless one we can cover 80% test cases. Like some of the test cases I don't think, or we already know that we cannot cover through this codeless automation tools. Now moving ahead, I would like to conclude like our codeless automation tools supports agile, and agile is a boom in nowadays time. It is compatible with the speed of the development cycle. Obviously the development cycle has, the pace has become like increasing day by day, and it is also trying to follow those footsteps by competing them with the speed of writing those are the test cases which we are maintaining. Now the next one is lower maintenance cost and scale automation. The maintenance charges are less in codeless automation. Then we integrate capabilities with lot of feature. I've already shown you that it is able to like there are inbuilt plugins for the CI/CD is there. if you Jira, Jenkins, and many more are already inbuilt there, so there is no need to download some plugin or integrate with this the any of the like codeless automation tool. Effortless document process and changes. So whenever any of the tools they are giving you, they are providing you the tool, they are also providing you the documentation or the tutorial how to use those tools. So it has become very easy for us to understand, like going through that documentation, you'll be easy, like easily understand what the tool is all about, how you have to deal with that tool. So it has become like a easy process to understand and to execute also. So that was all from my side, and thank you. If you want to reach out, or if you want to know more about codeless automation tool, or if you are like confused which tool to think of, or any of the questions related to codeless automation tool, you can reach out to me at sushma.nayak at noldas.com. Thank you so much. Bye. Have a nice day.